Yes, dear students, these are the important questions for your exam on Monday for the assignment test. Marginal rate of technical substitution. What is this MRTS? MRTS is the ratio between the change in one input and the other input. Like we have taken in the class the labor and capital input. Yes, so the change in what is the ratio between the change in labor to the change in capital. So that is the formula of MRTS, change in one factor divided by the change in another factor. Coming to the next one, least cost combination of inputs. What is this least cost combination of inputs? Is the superimposing of isocost on isoquants, the point of tangency. When you get the point of tangency, we have taken various combinations of labor and capital and we have given the price for each unit, the cost for each unit of labor as well as capital, and at the end we have decided about which combination is giving you the least cost combination of input. Economies of scale. What is this economies of scale? Economies and diseconomies of scale. We have this economies and diseconomies of scale stating the scale of production. What is this scale of production is? For the large scale production, what are the advantages the producer have because of his efforts or because of the external factors, whatever the advantages he gets, we call it as economies of scale. Internal economies of scale. Internal economies are those economies which are open to individual firm when its size expands or diversifies. Those are technical economies, marketing economies, managerial economies, financial economies and risk bearing economies. Marketing economies. So, what is this marketing economy? A large firm will purchase various inputs in bulk. If it purchases it in bulk, what will happen? It will get it for a very lesser price. As well as a larger firm can brand its product in a brand name, okay, under a trademark, where it enjoys, it need not put an advertising cost for each and every product when it will expand its business. Financial economies. What is this financial economies is? A larger firm can procure money at a cheaper rate because of its reputation or it possesses larger assets. As we have discussed earlier, when you have more capital, the capital has to be used for fixed capital as well as to meet the current expenditure of the business. Yes, so here if it has expanded its operation, it will have huge capital and it will use that capital for acquiring long-term assets to the business. That is the reason financial economies, the bargaining power of the company will improve if it will expand its operation. Risk bearing economies. When a firm produces variety of products, variety of markets, what is an advantage it will have? It will counterbalance the loss of one product by getting profits in the other. Managerial economies. A larger firm can appoint specially highly qualified officials. Highly qualified officials on the basis of what? Specialization. Division of work will be done on the basis of specialization and it will allow to elaborate management and better decision making, and this can be only efforted by whom? The large scale business, but not a small scale business. External economies. When a number of firms producing the same type of commodity in a particular area, it will enjoy some advantages. Here, the company need not strive for these advantages. Coming to internal Economies of scale, what has happened? Company has to strive for financial economies, marketing economies, labor economies, managerial economies or risk bearing economies. Coming to external economies, it need not strive for them, they automatically come to the company. Economies of concentration, as there will be number of firms in an area, what will happen? Obviously, you will have transportation, communication, availability of raw materials, research, invention, etc., etc. Economies of information, when number of firms in an industry expand, they mutually depend on each other for what? For research and development. Economies of specialization, when you have firms engaging in an industrial area or any special or recognized as any special economic zone, what will happen? All the horizontal disintegration or vertical disintegration will happen. That is, if it is a company dealing with any FMCG products, what will happen? Okay, it will produce the product, someone else will package the product, someone else will transport the product, someone else will give batching or coding, or someone else will market the product. That is economies of specialization. One nearby company is specialized in transporting, specialized in marketing, specialized in warehousing, etc., etc. So, these are what the economies of scale are. The next topic is cost concepts. What do you mean by cost? The expenditure which is incurred by the producer to produce a product. So, generally what are the different expenditure they have? Yes, the wages to be given to the labor. Yes, the cost of raw materials. Yes, all the fuel charges, the electricity bill, telephone bill, whatever they are. Yes, all these are the costs where the manufacturer will incur to produce a product. So, fixed cost, variable cost. What do you mean by fixed cost? Fixed cost doesn't change with the change in output. Coming to variable cost, it will change. If you increase the output, the cost will increase. If you decrease the output, the cost will decrease. What is semi-variable? Semi-variable is, it is semi-fixed cost. Okay, at the slab, the rate will be fixed to some extent. Again, it will change when you go to the next slab like your electricity bill. So, what is total cost? It is fixed cost plus variable cost plus semi-variable cost. Marginal cost. Marginal cost is an additional cost incurred for manufacturing every additional unit. You have to allocate some resources. Yes, that is called marginal cost. Opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is said to exist when resources are scarce and you have alternative uses for resources. That is, for the foregone of next best alternative, whatever it is, the cost which you have incurred, you call it as opportunity cost. This is only for analysis, but you don't show in your accounting. It's completely related to decision making. Explicit cost. Explicit costs are otherwise called as out of pocket cost, which will involve payment of cash. Implicit cost, which does not involve payment of cash, but you will show it in the accounts. Average cost. See, what do you mean by average cost? Average cost is the total cost divided by number of units produced, like average variable cost. Variable cost divided by number of units produced. Average fixed cost. Fixed cost divided by number of units produced. You know how to take the average, right? Sunk cost. What do you mean by sunk cost? Like the cost which have been incurred and cannot be coped up. Okay, you can't expect the exact return from the same. You can't reclaim it. That cost is called as sunk cost. Replacement cost. Replacement. What do you replace in a company? Yes, assets. Yes. For replacement of assets in the company, whatever you incur, it is called as replacement cost. Controllable cost, where a supervisor or a manager can specify anything or influence any action. Okay, those are called as controllable costs. There are some costs which cannot be controlled. Those are called as uncontrollable cost. That means like we can take a decision on decreasing the labor charges. Yes, that is a controllable one. There are so many uncontrollable cost, like when you are into a manufacturing industry, you have to incur some storage expenditure where you have to put some storekeeper for the same. Okay, his salary is uncontrollable and you can say there is no raw material or finished goods in the storeroom and we don't give salary. That doesn't work out, right? So, that is uncontrollable cost. The expenditure which is controllable by an individual is controllable cost, which cannot be influenced by an action is uncontrollable cost. So, these are what the cost concepts are.